Do you get it? I'm a Jedi, but I don't have any lightsabers or powers or spaceships. Hey folks, welcome back. If you saw one of my last videos, you probably saw that I picked up a huge box of vintage patterns and sorted through those and kind of decided what I wanted to try and what I didn't. I put a poll up on my community page and you guys voted pretty heavily to turn me into a Jedi. Not really a Jedi, but the pattern itself kind of reminded me of some of those like Jedi tunics that they have out there in Star Wars. So today we're gonna do it. We are going to make this guy. Simplicity 7627. It doesn't have a name, but whoever owned it last did say, nice sleeve. Yay for fun sleeves, I guess. This is in a size small, which I am not. So we're gonna have to play around with sizing this up, and I'm not quite sure what that's gonna look like, but we'll figure it out. First and foremost, I do think we need to find some fabric for this. So let's go check out my fabric stashes, because I may have two of them, and see if we can find anything, not just for the garment itself, but also maybe for a mock-up. Let's look in my big bin first. I could maybe make the mock-up out of this. It's not really the best color, but it's nice. None of this. All right. So I have like pillowcases. That's really nice, but I worry that that pattern's gonna be too big for a shirt like this. But I could use this. That might be kind of nice and springy. Maybe. Let's go see what my other stash looks like. Okay, my other stash. I do have this. I don't know if there's enough of it, but maybe. What about this? I wonder if I could use that creatively. Maybe. You know, I've got this from when I made the dress. This would be kind of nice, but I could go gray. Let's try the ones that we've got and see if we can make a decision. Here's what I found. I have quite a collection here, and I'm not really sure what direction I want to go. So maybe talking through it will help kind of figure it out. For the mock-up, I picked two tablecloths that I have. One is just this natural colored cotton. The problem is I don't know if I've got enough of this. So maybe, and especially if I only make it like a tank rather than with sleeves, or maybe do short sleeves, or something like this. It's kind of in a goldenrod color and it's got these stripes on it. Again, I'm not sure if there's enough of it here. I think there is, but we'll unfold that and see if it works. For the final product, I have this yellow gingham that I've been hanging on to for a while. Yellow is not always my favorite color, but I mean, that's not bad. Maybe I should do one of those like color matchy things. I don't know. I mean, that's not too bad. And then the other option I have, which I think is a little crazy, but I really wonder if I can make it work, is this shower curtain that I've had forever. I thought about doing a dress with it, but because of the front placket of this top, I really wonder if I could utilize the embroidery. So maybe if I'm creative in laying out the pattern, that'll work. So I don't know. I'm gonna make a mock-up first and then kind of decide what direction I wanna go. I do have to unfold this pattern because the envelope feels a little light. So let's give it a shot, shall we? I am looking for 9 pieces in here, or at least that's, I think, what the back says. 9 pieces and transfer. So let's see if everything is in here. All right, I have all the pieces. I'll cut these out, lay them on a piece of fabric, and see what I can use with them. I'm gonna make this in the size that it originally came, because I think that will help me figure out where I can make some adjustments with the overall sizing. I'm probably gonna regret that, but that's okay. So we're going to venture into making a small medium mock-up and see if it works. Grace is zonked. I wish I was one of my dogs. So everything does seem to fit on that tablecloth. With the bodice pieces themselves, or with the body pieces, it doesn't have the whole length, but I'm not real worried about this part down here. But everything else seems to fit. But boy, I don't feel like cutting this out right now. Maybe tomorrow Katie wants to do that.
One eternity later.
So here I am, more than a month later, ready to actually start making this pattern. Now, what may surprise you is that I have already made a mock-up of this. I did that for a couple of reasons. The biggest being that this pattern is a size small, and it is a vintage size small. I am not a size small regardless of the era. So I wanted to make a tester for this to just see what the fit looks like and see how I might need to adjust things. In general, the fit actually turned out pretty well, but putting this thing together was a challenge, to say the least. Not only is it a size small, but it came already pre-cut from whoever owned the pattern before. I couldn't cut out larger margins around the pattern pieces themselves. But most importantly, and probably the biggest challenge, is where the hell are the other half of the directions for this? These were the directions. Where's the other half? All it really shows me is how to lay it out on the fabric. I am by no means a brand new sewer, but there are some tricky things to this pattern. Let me show you the fabric that I'm working with. I have this really pretty maroon linen that I picked up at a thrift store a few months ago. So I'm gonna make it out of this. I'm not real sure if I'm gonna like it or not. So we'll cut the pattern out, we will start sewing the pieces together, and then we will look at the assembly part. So let's go. Okay, here's a quick recap of what I have already done and where I think I'm going next. So I have my two sleeve cuffs here. These are the front plackets that I have sewn the facings onto, and then I've got the back bodice piece that I have put the back facing on. I have no idea if this is right, and I have no idea if it's big enough because it doesn't like match up at the ends. But even when I cut the pattern just to the normal size, that's how it worked. So I'm still trying to figure out if that's right. The easiest thing to do would be to gather the sleeves and put them in the cuffs so they are ready to put on whenever I get the bodice put together. But I do need to figure out how to get these pieces onto the front effectively. So I think I'm gonna do the easy part first and then this part, which is a little bit harder. So I'll get the sleeves gathered and put into those cuffs. That's next. I want to look at the mock-up that I made because I'm sure I did some mistakes with the placket parts and try to figure it out a little bit. First of all, I know now that the little corners here, you're supposed to clip those, but I'm not sure how that affects actually putting it in. On the linen version, I did clip these little corners on the bodice, and we'll see if we can get them installed a little bit cleaner, because this gives me a little like and then in the picture, there is a little bit of ruching at the bottom, like along here. And clearly I didn't do that, and I don't know if I want to actually do that, so I probably won't. And then let's look at the inside of this so you can see its true secrets. So this is what the inside is looking like. I don't think it's supposed to be like this, but I think I can just roll that in and make it cleaner. I really fudged it up here. I have no real idea what is supposed to go on here at the shoulder. So this just looks like a big ol' hot mess. I've already put the facing in, is horrendous, so don't pay attention to that. So I have the front plackets on, just on the sides here. I haven't done the bottom part, and I think that I have a little bit of extra space to kind of smoosh in the square. So I might actually end up with a little bit of gathering there that I didn't intend to do. I think it's going okay, but I haven't put it together yet. So I'm gonna try and get the bottom part cleanly put in, try to figure out if it needs gathering or not, sew that down, and then see what the next step is gonna be. Holy shit, it worked. So I think that worked. I didn't expect it to, but I ended up putting like this little pleat right here in the front, right there. So hopefully that will work. So now I'm going to attach the back to the front, and then I'm gonna try it on, because one of the other things about the mock-up that I don't really like is that the shoulders drop down just a little too far. They need to be like maybe an inch or even half an inch higher. So I'm going to do that, see where the sleeves fall, or see where the shoulders fall, then get the sleeves attached. Almost where we can try it on. Here's where we're at. I think it actually looks pretty good. I'm a little disappointed that down here isn't a little more close together. I really like the way that it fits, and I like the way that it falls. The armholes are just a little too small. I'll probably attach one sleeve first and just see how it fits, but I may have to make those just a little bit bigger. Overall, it's really cool, and I think even without sleeves, it would make a pretty cool like tank top. Thumbs up so far. did the whole wrap up and I wasn't even recording. Shit. So overall, this pattern, I think I would rate a solid 7.5 out of 10. It might have been a little bit higher had I actually had the instructions for it, because one of the big cons for me was how much finishing there was to do, especially in the placket area. Maybe the instructions told me how to hide all of the raw edges, but I didn't have those. However, as far as helping me turn into my discount Jedi of my dreams, check. I think that, you know, with ridiculous styling, I think you get it. There's an essence of Jedi here. I also think you can make it in black, maybe a little bit larger with some poofier sleeves, and you could be the Dread Pirate Roberts. Why not? It was a fairly quick pattern to put together once I knew kind of what I was doing. Figuring it out the first time though, headache. So if you enjoyed this and you want to see more of me testing out vintage sewing patterns, hit the subscribe button because I have many to test out. Give this video a like, and I will see you guys next time. Bye! Do you get it? I'm a Jedi, but I don't have any lightsabers, or powers, or spaceships. Oh my god. Oh, no! It collects hair like nobody's business. Also, why I thought capes in the summer would be a good idea. I do it for you guys, really. And I'm not a cosplay person, but I kind of want to be. Alright, bye.